you guys start freaking out, let me just say, I did not shave my head. I just pulled it all back to this little braid here. See? Hey guys, Taylor here. And it is officially time for my Q&A video that I wanted to do for you guys. So I went ahead and told you guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I even told you guys a little bit on Keek to go ahead and send me questions for this Q&A video. And some of you did. And I want to thank those of you who did submit me questions, and I look forward to answering them in this video. So without further ado, let's get started with this Q&A, shall we? The first question comes from Stephanie. Hi Stephanie! And she asks, what's your favorite song at the moment? Well, I am a big country music fan, and I've loved country music. I love the era of country music from 1930s, I guess, up until 2009, I want to say. So that whole era, I love that type of country music. But my favorite song right now at the moment would probably have to be 7 Years by Lucas Graham. That is such a good song. And if you guys have never heard of that song, where have you been? It is such a good song. It doesn't talk about butts. It doesn't talk about partying, drinking. And it doesn't talk about smoking, you know, pot or whatever the hoop-de-doo-dot it is that people smoke nowadays. It's just a song about somebody's thoughts and just songs about general life, and that's what I love. That's all the type of songs that I like. I like songs that are about just life in general and just about emotions and your inner thoughts, you know, stuff like that. So if you guys have not already heard the song 7 Years by Lucas Graham, check it out, look it up, listen to it, and love it. This next question comes from Chelsea. Hi Chelsea! And she asks, what do you tell people when they ask you how you still believe in God after all He put you through? That is a very, very good question, and it's a question that I get frequently asked a lot. Let's just say my life is a website, okay? And there's this FAQ section of the website. How I would still believe in God after all He put me through is one of the frequently asked questions in that section of the website. I'm being totally honest. So for those of you who don't know, I am a born-again, non-denominational Christian. I've asked Christ into my life and got baptized when I was 7 years old. And God has put me through some very, very tough situations because of my autism. He gave me autism at a time where autism was so rare that 1 in every 10,000 kids got diagnosed with autism each year at that time. I was one of the 1 in 10,000 kids diagnosed. And I guess it stirred quite a controversy around me, if you want to say that, because people kept judging me, people kept judging my mom. I was not only picked on by kids, but adults. And my autism has been a common source of a problem of making friends when I was a kid and making friends when I was a teenager because I felt so different and so out of place. And on top of that, I've lost my friend Taylor Worley to a medical condition where she had a lot of liquid in her brain. I've lost my grandfather to a lot of health complications, and more recently I lost my best friend Abby to suicide. Needless to say, you take all that and put all that on top of each other, and I've been through a lot of negative stuff in my life, I'll give you that. But the one thing that has always helped me get through what I get through is reading my Bible and talking to God. In fact, right here in front of me, I have a few passages that I kind of wanted to share with you guys that has helped me as far as going through a lot of negativity in my life when it comes to battling with autism and battling with depression and dealing with death, you know. The first passage comes from the book of Psalms, and it is in chapter 23, and it's verses 1 through 6. And it reads, "The Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to His name. Even when I walk through the dark valley of death, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You welcome me as a guest, anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever." The next passage I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys is in, again, the book of Psalms, and this time it's in chapter 3, verses 2 through 6. And it reads, "So many are saying God will never rescue him, but you, O Lord, are the shield around me, my glory and the one who lifts my head high. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. I lay down and slept. I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. I am not afraid of 10,000 enemies who surround me on every side. I think it's because of those two passages alone that I've been able to conquer what I have conquered. And my family and friends kind of look at me as an example of a miracle. Like I am the miracle baby in the family, if you will. It is because of him that I am starting to become successful in doing what I'm doing right now. Helping you guys understand autism through my insight and experiences, and to help raise awareness for autism, to help make this world a better place to live for autistic people. That is what I believe God has called me to do, and that I feel is the reason why God gave me autism. And I did not realize that until last year, which I feel so silly because I should have realized it sooner, but it just took me a little bit longer. And at the end of the conversation, before I walk away, I always say this. God has definitely put me through some tough stuff in my life. Some stuff that is 80% negative. However, even after God has put me through so much in my young life, and is already putting me through so much, and will put me through so much in the future, I'm not giving up on him. I'm not going to give up on him, just like God never gave up on us when he sent his son to die a brutal and horrific death on that cross to pay for our sins. And before I walk away, I smile and I say, with God, nothing is impossible. And in a way, I feel like I'm living proof of that. This next question comes from Abby. Hi, Abby. And she asks, when your siblings and your parents found out you had autism, how did they handle it? Not very lightly. No, but seriously, they did not handle it lightly because, like I said, I was diagnosed at a time where it was 1 in every 10,000 kids were being diagnosed with autism each year at that time. They barely had any resources. They tried researching. They got absolutely nowhere. So my parents made the decision to go ahead and learn about autism just by watching me and allowing me to teach them just by watching me and watching what I like, what I don't like, what keeps me still, what keeps me quiet, what makes me run around, what makes me scared, what makes me cry, what makes me laugh, what makes me hurt, what makes me happy and feel loved, and stuff like that, you know? And just by doing that, they've learned so much more about autism than they would have if they had done more research. I'm just flat out telling you guys right now, that's exactly how it turned out. This next question comes from Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. And she asks me, what is the best way to find out that someone's autistic? That is a really broad question, which means it can go in a lot of different directions. So I'm going to try to break this down for you as best as I can. If you're a parent and if you think that your child is autistic and you start noticing the early signs, you know, they're not talking by the age of 3, they're not walking by the age of 3, they're still not potty trained by the age of 3, you know, stuff like that. And if they scream a lot and if they throw a lot of tantrums, I would say go consult your doctor and see if you could do some testing to see if your child has autism. I would highly recommend it because that's what my parents did for me. However, if you were a friend or a stranger out in public and if you see someone who may have autism, you know, they might be in a mall for, let's just say for example, you're at a mall and that child is breathing really fast, covering his ears, closing their eyes, crying and screaming, trying to walk away, trying to run away. But I think what will make any type of autism parent's day is if you just kindly walked up to them and very politely say, hello, I saw your child over there. Is he okay? Does he need anything? But if they say no, he's perfectly fine, just politely ask, does that kid have autism? And if they say yes, just kind of ask them a little bit about it. And they'll be more than happy to tell you all about it. Because they see that you care about their child's well-being instead of the label of autism that has been placed on them for life. And the final question for this Q&A comes from Brittany. Hey Brittany! And she asks me, how do I handle tough situations like when someone passes away? I am the type of person who does not take death very, very welly. I am an emotional wreck whenever someone who I know very personally dies. I don't cry when celebrities die. That's not what I do. I thought that death meant goodbye. That's what I thought death was. That's how it was interpreted in so many movies as a kid. I would see the parents die, and you know those cartoon movies where they actually show the parents and people dying? Well, I would watch those movies, and I just automatically thought death meant goodbye. But during my grandpa's funeral and his visitation, I've had my mom and several other family friends of mine come up to me and say, death is not goodbye, it's see you later. And my mom, after the funeral, I was crying at home, and my mom said, death is not goodbye, it's still see you later. And it all boils down to those two passages that I read to you guys when I was answering the second question. They all talk about being hopeful and not giving up and relying on the Lord. That's exactly what I've done when those people have died. That's exactly what I will continue to do when more people die. So crying definitely helps, but also what helps is knowing that they're in a much better place. Heaven is so much more better than right here on earth. It is so much more better. There's no sickness, no pain, no debates, no wars, nothing but peace, love, comfort, healing. And the final thing that has helped me is talking to God, reading my Bible, and praying. Well guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this. Go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you guys liked it. Also in the comments below, you guys can start submitting me questions for the next Q&A. But I also want to give you guys a challenge. I want you guys to comment the Bible verse that has helped you go through some really terrible and horrible times. I would love to read and reply to your responses, and maybe they can help me a little bit. And finally, as always, if you guys like my videos and want to see more videos from me, go ahead and give my channel a subscribe. Well guys, that's it for now. Until next time, bye bye.